Hey, what's going on? Back at it again. Clayton Squires from Santa Lucia's High School. I'm a U.S. history teacher. What I want to talk about today is this one right here. It's pretty simple. It should be straight to the point, but it's SS.912.A.4.2 Explain the motives of the United States acquisition of territories. It's pretty simple. We kind of explained it in the last video, but I'm going to get into it again. Okay, here we are. So, motives or reasons for new territories. One of the main reasons you have to remember is that largely it's about money. When we talk about resources, when we talk about land, that's money, right? So if you had to buy a house or you wanted to buy a property, that costs money. If you wanted a gold ring, well, that's money. But let's look at some of these secondary motives. Control of resources, new markets, control of greater numbers of people, the spread of military power. This is something that wasn't mentioned prior. What do we mean by spread of military power? Well, for instance, if you wanted an overseas military base, that could be a good way to project power and possibly get new territories. Currently in the United States, if you look at the global map, you can Google it if you want, but take a look. We have bases all over the world. Why do we do that? Well, we want to make sure that we protect our image and we protect the assets and the resources that we have across the world that feed our economy. Let's look at the last ones. New markets. America is not known for its coffee or tea, but control of areas that produce these commodities is worth billions. Okay, let's talk about some places that have coffee. Where do they have coffee? Well, Colombia is one of them. Nicaragua is one of them. Costa Rica. A lot of places in Central America and in South America, even in Africa, have coffee. Tea. What about tea? Well, you can find tea throughout Southeast Asia. These are areas that we've been involved in regards to imperialism. Acquiring new territories. This means a greater population that can be used in a variety of ways, such as soldiers, workers, or consumers. If I took over, let's say, Brazil, potentially I could have over 100 million people now working for me. And that's a big deal. I also have to take care of them, but that's another story. All right, and then lastly, new territories can be used as military bases to project power. Hawaii, Puerto Rico, Guam, Philippines. All of these areas that I've mentioned here were or had military installations on them. Guam still does. This is one of our big Navy bases in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Pretty straightforward, kind of like what we talked about in one of our last slides. Let me just show you real quick. Very similar to this right here, they analyze the major factors that drove the United States imperialism. Very similar, not too different. Hope you enjoyed this. Hit the like button. Take care.